Hemp, cannabis, ganja, marijuana, it's not the only plant that supports your endocannabinoid system. So today we're gonna make CannaButter in the Lēvo Luxe Infuser, but y'all know I can't just make a regular old CannaButter. So I'm adding 2 additional herbs, echinacea root and turmeric root, because like cannabis, they also impact your endocannabinoid system. Let's start with a very quick snapshot of the endocannabinoid system. Your ES is comprised of cannabinoid receptors, namely CB1 and CB2, but also transient receptor potential channels, or TERP channels. I'm not sure if that's what they call it in the medical field, but that's what we're calling it today. Endocannabinoids are also part of this system, and these are naturally occurring cannabinoids produced within the body and enzymes that break those endocannabinoids down. The endocannabinoid system is another homeostatic system that regulates a wide range of physiological functions, including mood, pain, inflammation, your immune response, appetite, and sleep. It's a really important system that interacts with nearly every other system of the body in some way. CB1 receptors are abundantly found in the central nervous system, different parts of the brain and spinal cord, where they help modulate neurotransmitter release, influencing cognition, memory, mood, pain perception, and muscle control. They are also found in lower amounts in the gastrointestinal tract, the liver, adipose fat tissue, and the pancreas. CB2 receptors are primarily involved in our immune response, but they are also found in lower levels in the central nervous system too. They are largely located in immune cells like macrophages, lymphocytes, and natural killer cells, playing a really important role in modulating immune function and dialing down inflammation. CB2 receptors are also found in the spleen and the tonsils and the bone marrow, on the skin. And lastly, TRP channels are largely found on sensory neurons throughout the body, the various cell types that help us perceive touch and temperature, smell, pain, and pressure. Cannabis and cannabinoids are active at TRP receptors and modulate their activity, contributing to pain relief, cancer fighting, and anti-inflammatory support. So I have a background in the arts and music, so think of these receptors and the cannabinoids that your body produces, as well as the phytocannabinoids that we can introduce to the body through plants like hemp, echinacea, and turmeric, as an orchestra. The orchestra is comprised of different musicians. We have brass players and percussionists. We have the strings, the winds. These are the different systems in your body. The notes they play are the cannabinoids. The conductor, that's the endocannabinoid system that basically determines if there's synchronization between your other body systems. So the music sounds like harmony or it sounds like garbage. When we don't have enough endocannabinoids circulating, it's called endocannabinoid deficiency. And it's like having a conductor who's missing their baton. An imbalance within the body can ensue, from altered mood, increased pain and inflammation, to sleep disturbances, fertility issues, hormone, gut, cognitive issues, immune issues, and more. Your endocannabinoid system is highly sophisticated, highly complex. When it's out of whack, it can feel like you're missing your conductor. You're out of whack. So it's no wonder why cannabis medicine, whether psychoactive cannabis or non-psychoactive hemp, has been used for thousands of years as medicine throughout the world and continues to gain popularity. The plants we're playing with today are low THC hemp, echinacea root, and turmeric root, with a pinch of black pepper, which improves the bioavailability of turmeric. Hemp, cannabis sativa, contains over 100 cannabinoids. The most well-known and studied ones are CBD, cannabidiol, and delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, THC. We're using the Lifter CBD strain, which contains around 20% CBD, a small amount of CBG, and low within the legal limits of THC, so it's non-psychoactive. Hemp has a wide variety of therapeutic benefits, including, but certainly not limited to, pain relief, inflammation modulation, which is really helpful for arthritic, autoimmune, and inflammatory bowel conditions. Hemp supports reducing anxiety, improving stress and stress management, mood, and sleep. I have a good friend who says cannabis helps her be a better parent. It ushers in the calm so that we are less reactionary, more focused, and therefore can respond better to stressful situations. Regular use of hemp can support lowering blood pressure and improving triglyceride and glucose levels, skin health, gut health, health, cellular health through its antioxidant properties, and more. Echinacea root is wildly popular, and you've probably heard of it, and likely in the context of helping with cold and influenzas, which comes with a lot of nuances. Unless it's taken in large and appropriate doses for your body size, and at the onset of a cold or a flu in combination with other herbs like licorice root, it's not very helpful in that regard. But echinacea does shine as a systemic immune stimulant in severe infections, bacterial, fungal, and viral. It stimulates antibody and macrophage production, increases phagocytosis, reduces inflammation and pain, and helps with collagen protection and tissue repair. It contains alkalamides, fat-loving molecules which bind to CB2 receptors, providing immune modulation and anti-inflammatory effects. I'm sure you've also heard of turmeric root, as it's another wildly popular herb known as a powerful inflammation modulator. It's antioxidant, analgesic, vulnerary, supports liver function, lipid and carbohydrate metabolism, and detoxification. It's helpful for diabetes, ulcers, cardiovascular health, Alzheimer's, and memory, and can also be supportive in your infection formulas. So today's anti-inflammatory canna-butter recipe is 14 grams of hemp, 7 grams of turmeric root, and 7 grams of echinacea root with a pinch of black pepper. Let's get started. Our first step is weighing the hemp. As I mentioned, our recipe includes 14 grams of hemp, and if you want to be precise, it's great to use a kitchen scale. After weighing the hemp, use a coffee grinder, a food processor, or a blender to coarsely grind the herb. If you're using a Lēvo infuser, like I am, then loosely pack the herb into the Lēvo herb pod. So grinding the herb helps more of the herb fit into the pod, and it also helps your infusion because more surface area of the herb will be exposed to the solvent, butter in this case. Anytime you're making infusions, the more surface area of the herb that gets exposed to your menstruum or solvent, the better your extraction will be. Once all of the herb is securely packed in the Lēvo herb pod, you're going to place the herb pod into your Lēvo infuser. To decarboxylate the herb in your Lēvo, you choose the activate cycle. And I like to decarboxylate for 1 hour at 240 degrees. Now we're going to melt on low heat 4 sticks of butter. While that's melting, we can weigh the 7 grams of echinacea root and our 7 grams of turmeric root. You may have turmeric root in powder form, and that's okay. And we're going to measure our pinch of black pepper as well. I used about a teaspoon of black pepper. Again, we want to use a grinder to coarsely grind the herbs before adding them to our second Lēvo pod. Securely cap your herb pod, and along with our melted butter, place the second herb pod into the Lēvo infuser. Be sure to also place your magnetic stirrer inside as well. Then pour in the melted butter up to the max line. So we didn't use all 16 ounces of melted butter. I probably used around 14.5 to 15 ounces of butter. The cycle we're going to choose now is the infuse cycle, and we are infusing for 3 hours at 150 degrees. You can infuse it longer if you like. Once your infusion is complete, it's time to dispense it. It smells so good, and just look at that deep, rich, earthy color. For most infusions, I would just keep it in the jar or use immediately, but I wanted to freeze these into smaller cubes for ease of use. Let us know if you'd like to see more canna-infused recipes in our content. Drop a comment below if you'd like to see that. And while we have turmeric root and echinacea root and dozens of herbs and I Will a Remedy blends on our website, iwillaremedy.com, available for purchase, we can offer custom hemp blends for you privately. Email us through our website, iwillaremedy.com, if you'd like to explore that. And stay tuned, we are reopening enrollment for Herbal Medicine for the Soul, our lifetime mentorship program soon. This is where we teach you how to heal and turn your health issues into non-issues with herbal medicine, medical astrology, spiritual practices, the Calypso healing method, and we train you, aspiring and current herbalists, medical professionals, doulas, massage therapists, energy workers, everyone in between, to help others feel well holistically with herbal medicine too. You can check that out, the program information and testimonials, on our website, iwillaremedy.com. So here we have our finished anti-inflammatory ENDO-CANNABINOID system nourishing canna-butter cubes. I plan to use these cubes in recipes that call for regular butter and fat, mostly savory dishes as opposed to baking. And I know we talked about, the different conditions that hemp and turmeric root and echinacea support, but this recipe is for culinary use, so you're not receiving, a therapeutic dose when you spread a little butter on your toast or melt some to make scrambled eggs. So just keep that in mind. I always have liked to think of creative ways to incorporate more medicinal herbs into everyday meals at slightly higher quantities than simply adding a pinch here, a pinch there, without compromising the taste. And these CannaButter cubes fulfill that objective for me. Use these as a part of your larger healing protocol that includes, dietary, lifestyle, mental and emotional regulation mastery, all the things we teach in herbal medicine for the soul too. When you feel better within, you will feel better in your body. Please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified next time we release a new video.